and Secretary at Jawaharlal Nehru Port Authority. Boosting over 30 years of port sector experience, her career began in 1993, evolving across portfolios like industrial relations, marketing, and estate. She holds a master's degree in social work from TISS, Tata Institute of Social Science, and an HR management from GBIMS, along a law degree. She is also pursuing her PhD at the moment and is a champion of social welfare, founding Women's Welfare Association to empower marginalized women. She spearheads port training collaboration with the Port of Antwerp and established the JNPA Skill Development Center to support local youth. And she will speak about it, but also has been very generous for the let her. But please remember the skill development center and for training of local youth, which will be coming in a few minutes. I would like Mamta to
tools which are only used by all you professionals. Now it's come into the hands of millions of people, especially in our country. And every photograph, I think, has a voice, whether you take it digitally or otherwise. And this visual conversation of our time is really going to be the journey going onwards. The title, Ripple Effects, is especially meaningful. Just like a ripple, which is what you started 20 years ago, it begins with a single drop and spreads outwards. This room, you'll have to get a bigger venue. I know the Jangila is a little strict. We'll learn that photography is an art form. And it spreads outward, and a single photograph can spark a conversation. A single, any photograph, you know. I sat down and then I looked here and I said, wow, lion's mane. And there's so many conversations you can have about that. And one can travel across borders, cultures, and generations. So I think platforms like Snapchat, Pinterest, and many others have made everyone a photographer, turning smartphones into tools for self-expression and influence. But I'm sure the young photographers will be contributing slightly differently and significantly to social media by leveraging such platforms to build careers and drive industry. Photography has really become democratic. Yeah. The storytelling is no longer limited to a few exclusive people. Today, people from all walks of life can document their realities, their communities, their struggles, their joys, and their hopes.
Right now, as you know, Manipur is in trouble, but I'm happy to be here. I've known Sudharak for more than 30 years. Actually, we did a course together in XIC, where I was fascinated with photography, and I was curious about moving images, and he also joined that course, visual communication it was called, I think, and he was a photographer then with Indian Express, and I got close to him, and I was wondering, because this guy is so restless, and I feel that he doesn't notice anything.
In a few moments. Their work reflects the true essence of visual democracy, when communities hold the lens, narrative shifts, and futures are reimagined. 20 years, multiple states, countless collaboration, and one belief. When you change who tells the story, you tell the story itself. Now, I would like to invite and ask Sudharak Olwe to speak a few words.
Photographers, because it's them that's going to carry the skill and the creativity forward. I see my old friend Anand in the audience. Makes me a bit more nervous. And this is really for the younger people, is that you've entered into the medium of photography, which is very muddied in a certain manner, because now everybody uses photography through their cell phones. Yes, you can express yourself through any device, but the camera has a very special way of working because you can control it. Unfortunately, with digital photography, because of the built-in automation, you press the button and some result comes. But if you really learn using aperture, shutter speed, how to use the ISO to your advantage, you can then creatively work with the medium in a deeper manner. I draw a parallel with
Thank you for inviting me. I'm very honored, and I'm just new in India and in Mumbai. It's my first time in India, and I'm so happy to discover so beautiful photographies, art everywhere in this city. It's lots of energy, brings joy, and I just want to remember my father with his old Leica, because he used to do lots of photographies. And I love your work. I'm very happy to be here.
Because you need some support to do this, a lot of logistics is there. So yeah, so I will go to stage. So this 35, 40 years, like I'm probably, I know all of them from almost everybody, Chandra sir and all, like 38 years I'm photographing in the city. I know all of them. So this is my gratitude that you all come to support this. Thank you so much. So I would also like to express my heartfelt gratitude to our chief guest and supporters, Dr. Firoza Godrej, Pamela Bartholomew, Mrs. Manisha Jadhav, we have, and of course my very dear friend Kabibi Bulao, he'll come somehow, Parvez Damania, and I know him when he started the Damania. At that time I know it's good always office, and I cover his parties for afternoon dispatch, area for Behram contractor. He was a very important part. Malvika Sangvi, Mark Manuel, the people have shaped my, they have taken me wherever no photographer could go. So they took me, and we had a very unique. I'll just end with. So how we do workshop? We don't kind of focus on the technical thing. We do basics of photography, and then we have a team. Like we'll see them. Sundar will come and play for half an hour. Then Ravi Shekhar will come and talk, and we just want to inspire to do that.
But I really am so happy with all my friends and colleagues on the dais here, and so many friends in the audience who I've known for more than maybe 50 years. But Sudharak, it was very gracious of you to extend this invitation to me. I have known you since early Simrosa days, when you were with the Express, and prior to that as well. And of course for that wonderful award that you won on a very difficult subject at the National Geographic. It really startled me. I can still see those visuals in front of me. And that is what photography is all about. It's not just images on paper or pixels on a screen. It's a language, a universal language. It's all around us to see. And it documents, I think, generally 90% of the time, it documents truth. You can adjust a few things nowadays and make a very plump woman look slim and things like that. But generally it expresses truth, and it expresses emotion, and it's challenging our perspectives on life. And
actually, it's my gratitude to all of you and the photographers and my friends. So this event is we're doing, that I'm grateful that you've been my friend in this journey, all of you, and part of this process of 20 years, even as a photographer. I have two distinguished photographers my mentors, Pablo Bartolome, I'm so happy that he's here. Pradeep Chandra is here. So this was started journey as a photographer, and I did my first photography workshop with Pablo Bartolome when I met first time in Delhi. And then my journey started. Second journey started when I met Shahidul Alam in Bangladesh. And then because of Pablo, I went to Paris and other cities. And then I've learned a lot of how they do stories and how they do photography. And then one fine day I got an award from National Geographic. That's changed everything. I met Shahidul and Reza. So then in respective country, Shahidul has started Chobi Mela and there's a Pathshala. And Reza started Aina. So I think maybe ऐसा कुछ करना चाहिए कि इन्होंने जो organization can do wonderful work with Aina and Shahidul. So then I started 20 years back. I'll do something for my community. So it all started when I was shooting pictures of conservation workers. That time I met Pablo and Raghu Rai and how they have shaped my journey. And then I felt that I should give back something to the community. So what we did, 10 years of workshop we did with the consultancy workers. Out of that, many are photographers now, professional photographers. And Ravi was there along with me, Ravi Shekhar, photographer. We started teaching photography. And then we thought, this is a success that, in 10 years of workshop, we have 10 photographers working with important newspapers of the city, country. And then I take this to the Rajasthan. So Rajasthan also got successful with placing the camera, telling the story, and it turned into a livelihood at the same time. And that's what we kept going for the last 20 years. And we have many friends. I think the daughter will speak to that later. But we got, it was very way that, what I learned from this to share with this. So like one initiative is called Photography on Wheels. So what we did, we hired a van, put photographers, filmmakers, writers, artists in a van, and we travel around the Maharashtra. So we used to take an exhibition to police station, bus stand, on the banks of river, in the villages. So villages were so happy that they offered us food, they offered us petrol money to go to the next destination. Because the gallery was coming to us.
So work. I'm very, very impressed that you've gone to every corner of the country and picked up some real good stars. I'm sure the photographs are very beautiful, and I'm happy that whenever I've done anything with photography, you've always been with us. We have experienced great journeys, and I look forward to many more journeys in the future. Thank you for involving us.
I've always been an admirer of his work and his commitment to photography. And I haven't had a chance to look at these photographs, but as Pablo said, it's a unique project because it's so intimate. All the photographers are photographing spaces and people they know so well. And it's a pan-Indian project, which is just amazing and really historic. I've just had dental surgery, so I can't talk.
Photographers all around the country, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me a great pleasure to be here amongst all of you. In fact, to start with, you all must have heard about Jawaharlal Nehru Port Authority. So I am part of Jawaharlal Nehru Port Authority, and I have I am so delighted to be a part of JNP, and I have been there since last 30 years. So 30 years and not that less, till I feel the journey still continues. And here in JNP we have, it's a Government of India institute, as you know that here in India we have 12 major ports which are under Ministry of Port, Shipping and Waterways, Government of India. And there are few non-major ports, around 200 plus, which are under the state government authorities or under the, the private people. So JNP is India's #1 container port, and we handle almost 50% of India's containerized cargo. 24% of India's customs revenue is generated from Jawaharlal Nehru Port Authority, and you can imagine we are the biggest financial contributor for the entire country.